Welcome everyone to Post Crisis Comics, the channel where we review and discuss comics. I am Randy, and with me is the ever exhausted.
You can call me Cookie. And you know what? Hey, I don't know why we're even saying this anymore because you know it by now, but we're going to be talking about some spoilers today. So we're going to advise you against that. If you're not interested in spoilers, go read the book and come back and watch us, or just read along as we talk about it.
Yes, today we're actually going to be talking about Absolute Superman #1. Without a fortress, without a family, without a home. Is he Steel, the absolute man of steel? This was written by Jason Aaron, art by Rafa Sandoval and Carmine Di Giandomenico. I hope I got that right. The color was by Ulises Arreola, and the cover is by Rafa Sandoval and Ulises Arreola. So let's start with this cover. Wow, it looks almost like a painting we would see at a museum. Superman's cape is a living cloud, and they foreshadow that a bit on the cover as an introduction to the character. We see his familiar S shield, and he is walking through a field of wheat, which I would believe would be a nod to his mainline DC Universe character. And maybe there's a double meaning to that wheat field too, possibly.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that's going to turn out.
Mm.
Certainly, it's not foreshadowing. But Sandoval's a good, I mean, he's a really good artist. I've seen him on some other stuff. And he's got a unique style. So when I saw he was going to be doing Absolute Superman, I was all right. This is going to be really interesting. He's going to be one of those artists that I'm going to really enjoy. But I'll be honest, the whole reason I'm looking forward to this book is because of Aaron. Jason Aaron is another one of those writers that I absolutely love. He did one of my favorite current runs on the X Men. He's got a unique style to his writing, so like I'm here for Jason Aaron.
Interesting. I'm not sure what else of his I've read. I don't think I'm too well versed in him. But I do know I like Superman, his absolute Superman. So I think this is great artwork on the cover. One thing I'm not a huge fan of is the amount of shadow on Superman's face. And honestly, I kind of wish the cover were a little more detailed. It gets a little bit abstract at some points, which isn't always my favorite. Especially when it's on the cover and it's introducing us to a new character. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. This is definitely nitpicking, but just a couple of things I noticed.
But I don't really have a problem with the shadow. I like the shadow. I mean, again, this is a bit of a darker universe, so I like the heavy amount of shadow in a lot of the stuff that we're getting from this universe. That kind of helps separate the fact that this isn't your granddaddy's Superman. Basically, this isn't the guy that fought Hitler in the 40s and stuff. This is our Superman, and he's going to be a totally different character. And I'm here to see what these guys are going to do.
We opened with a Kryptonian cityscape looking all red and kind of evil. It looks almost like the planet is on fire. Based on knowledge of the current Superman mythos in the mainline universe, we know that Krypton is about to go kablooey. We learn that Krypton uh, is ruled by its cities. The detail and style on this page is actually phenomenal. I do see a little bit of that abstract style we saw on the cover, but it actually works really well in this one.
Yeah, I like the artwork is starting to pop for me, and I'm here for that. I like the fact that we're starting on Krypton. I mean, I'm a little worried because this is our second absolute character, and it already feels like we're going to be going through the same thing as it's Batman of flashback, present day, flashback, present day. It's like, okay, I'm hoping this is not going to be a recurring theme throughout every single series. Surely that is not going to be the case, um, because it can get a little repetitive. But at the same time, I am very interested to see how these guys are going to handle Krypton.
Well, I think one thing about the Absolute Universe is these issues actually tend to be really compressed. as opposed to a lot of other comic books. And I think we kind of, if we're going to have that much compression, we kind of got to have those flashbacks and current times to fill in the space. I'm actually okay with this because it does compress everything down and we get to the point a lot more quickly.
I mean, that does help, but at the same time, it's just it could be a repetitive uh, thing, and if you do it too often, I mean, we've got what was one, two, three, four, what like five, six absolute books, and it's like if all six absolute books are going to do this like back and forth in between present and past, that could be a little not off-putting, but just a little bit like, all right, guys, you're becoming a one-trick pony.
Whew, and you call me negative and picky. Anyway, so we move on. We get Candor. That's a nice cameo. We get to hear how technologically advanced the civilization is. I find it interesting that they call their Science League members clerics with a K. It's almost like the Science League itself is somehow related to religion, which is quite a bit different than what we see on our own Earth, and specifically America, where religion in general doesn't tend to believe in science very much. The Science League is the ruling class. In the original mainline DC universe, Kal-El's father is a member of the Science League. In the Absolute universe, he is not. It will make for some interesting implications going forward.
Yeah, I already like that twist that he's not a part of it because that's kind of interesting. Kind of all right, we're getting that split from main continuity again that I'm intrigued in. The whole science, I already get the feeling that science is going to be essentially their religion because, like you said, the clerics thing, and I think it is kind of something that you see consistently throughout Superman. They do tend to treat science almost like a religion, and that
Holy
always makes
row!
me, yeah, it's like that always makes me laugh just because the fact that it's like science and religion hate each other so much, and it's like, dude, you guys are basically you're basically the same thing in a way. Like you both have these, you know, like stand up, like like people will not bow down in either side of that. They'll never concede to each other. So it's hilarious to see them unite science and religion, and it shows it can be done.
Hmm. Well, next we cut to a farm that is missing its planned rain. The Sky Department is not sending rain where they promised they would and when they promised they would. We see a farmer complaining about the situation while wearing a Superman symbol, indicating that the symbol is a class-based symbol as opposed to a family symbol like it is in our mainline universe. I think those. I don't want to get jump too far ahead, but I really like the fact that they're incorporating class-based symbols, and I'll talk more about it in the future when we get there. But I just really like this a lot.
Yeah, if that's the way that this is going to go down, is it's going to be a battle of the classes kind of thing. I like that because that feels like a throwback to classic Superman, where the original thing, like he was fighting for, more social causes. It was like more fighting against evil landlords and stuff like that. It wasn't just supervillains. It was he was fighting for the little guy in the Golden Age era,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of like that. Like Morrison kind of touched a little bit on that when they did the New 52. Let's see, Aaron kind of take a touch at it too. It's something that is always interesting to Superman that made him different and more intriguing to me.
Yeah, and just a quick reminder to you and our viewers, Superman's original appearance, the very first thing he does is save a wrongly convicted inmate from death row. He causes the governor to call the prison and say, "Hey, stop this execution. It's not right. I've got proof." And so, yes, Superman's been standing up for the little guy since day one. He is a social justice warrior and has been from the beginning, and love it. I shouldn't say the F word. Bleep that out, somebody, please.
Yes.
um,
Well, we'll try and put the Superman symbol over your mouth.
yes, That'll work. So we find out that the Science League is not a fan of the red lands where the farms reside. Plus, we get a cameo from the city of Argo. The farmers pay the Science League for the rain. Lara L., who is Kal-El's mom, says she could build a cloud seeder for the price the farmer is paying for a month of rain. But the farmer says she would get locked up for illegal sciencing. It seems the Science League has a monopoly on rain here, and I can see how that might cause a problem for farmers. Lara mentions that Jor-El, her husband, is going under today. She knows exactly how many times he has gone under and has some anxiety for today's trip for some reason.
I really like that fact that she's like, like, no, screw this. I can just build it and make it better and don't have to pay these stupid idiots for providing rain for us. Like, I'll just do it ourselves. I like that. And I like the fact that they're like, yeah, but if you do that, you're going to get arrested. It almost kind of feels like someone's kind of getting out a little bit of frustration with modern day stuff going on. And it's like, hey, yeah, there's some stuff that we're paying for that we shouldn't have to pay for. That it kind of feels like maybe we're being taxed for things. It's like, hey, don't, that's kind of wrong. And like he's kind of throwing that into this book.
Yeah, I mean it's literally their food that that they're growing for people to eat, and you know what? The same thing happens to us here in modern times. People shouldn't have a situation where they're not secure where their next meal is going to come from. Anyway, the rain finally shows up, and Lara takes a moment to enjoy it. We see some voiceover from Cal talking about what an amazing student his mother was, but how she ruined her chances by writing a paper criticizing the Science League, and they barred her from ever joining. She was only 9 years old when she wrote the paper. The Science League is just incredibly oppressive.
Yeah, they feel like jerks to me. I'm I don't know. I kind of like the fact that we're seeing science painted in a bad light. Just I don't know. Just because sometimes people like Neil deGrasse Tyson irritate me when they get on like social media and be like, Godzilla couldn't exist because of this. It's like, shut up and enjoy the movie, man. So it's like I kind of like the fact that it's like, yeah, screw you, scientists. Yeah, we need you, but still, you're arrogant assholes sometimes.
Now, I wanted to talk about the art on this page, the rain. Um, it almost looks, again, this almost looks like the way it's colored, like it was almost like a painted page. And it looks like, I don't know if this is digital or not, but if it's not digital, it's almost looks like they used whiteout to paint the rain. And I think that's actually a really cool technique. I've got a piece of original art from Ben Templesmith, and you can see where he used the whiteout on the original art to help embellish the page. Like he
Yeah.
used it as an art tool, and that kind of looks like what they did here. And I kind of hope it is like they did physically do this, and this is not digital. They probably didn't, not in this day of age, but I just really liked the way it looked. The rain being white in contrast to all the other really pretty colors that we're not used to seeing because this, isn't Earth.
It's what I'm liking about this is you're seeing between this and Absolute Batman, and this is something I'm glad we actually get to bring up now. One of the cool things with modern comics is you can see how important a colorist is. Like I feel like in earlier comics you didn't see it as well. Like it went a little bit under the radar. Like they were still important, but they didn't get the recognition that you got with an inker or a penciler. Um, Sometimes a colorist kind of got pushed to the side. Modern comics, you can see where a colorist can really, really help a book just go through the roof. It's like already the artwork is amazing, but then that colorist comes in and just makes it a masterpiece.
Yeah, this
Um,
is spectacular.
yeah, like I know I don't want to go too far off topic, but I do want to call out. There was a period of time during the World War Hulk era in Marvel where the colorist working on the Incredible Hulk with the penciler at the time was made that penciler so much better. And I highly recommend checking those books. And this is another one that's going to be exactly like that. This absolute universe.
Hmm. Maybe one day we'll get there. um, so then we get some Kryptonian world building and find out that the Labor Guild is on the bottom of the class structure, and their symbol is the S shield that we're used to seeing from Superman. Most of society treats the symbol with shame, as this is the symbol of the working class. But Cal's parents wear it with pride. They call themselves the people of steel. I love that. I love everything about that. It gave me chills when I read that. It's like, the laborers are the ones who make the world go, and his parents are absolutely proud of that fact.
It's really cool. It's a nice twist on what Superman is in the mainstream universe, and I also like the kind of subtle, but also yet not so subtle twist on a lot of times. I mean, let's face it, this book is going to get a little political in a way, a little like touching a lot on some social issues.
More than a little.
Yeah. And I gotta say, like, I like the fact that we're kind of seeing a little bit of a twist on usually the working class is kind of considered more on the, I don't want to call them the bad side, but the side that, like modern society is not always behind because we'll just say red hat, red hat. Um, and usually the smarter side, but the side with science is the side that's like, hey, no, we're kind of the good guys. I like we're seeing a little bit of a flip on that. If you kind of see what I'm getting at here. It's like you're seeing the working class being kind of the more social justice side, which
Hmm.
is interesting. I don't know. It's kind of a cool twist. It's like I haven't seen in a lot of modern comics or just even television or anything. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. The Ultimates, Denise Camp, played with that a little bit in his Ultimates run, and I enjoyed seeing it there too. Um, but that's yeah. Anyway, don't want to get too far off topic. But going back to the religious aspects of the Science League, the clerics wear a sun that represents the god Ra, who is the main god of Krypton. It seems like their science and religion are really mixed up together, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. And everyone wears their class on their chest so that there is no doubt who is on top and who is on bottom. And I think that tells you a lot about their society. Is that,
Yeah,
how important it is, how to so everybody knows I am a cleric, or everybody knows I am a laborer. And everybody knows as a cleric I should be treated with the utmost respect. And as a laborer, and people can treat me like crap. And it's always out there where it can be seen.
yeah. That's very interesting. It again, it's like touching on history. It kind of takes me back to the uh, World War II and the Holocaust stuff of the Jews having to have the Star of David and stuff on them
Mm.
to in the camps, and it's like that. I'm not saying that that's what he was going for, but it's like you could definitely see a coalition there of a correlation there between the two like things.
Yeah, wearing your class or status or what have you out in the open where everybody can see. Yeah, that never seems to end well.
No,
um,
no,
Now we cut to Jor, who has gone under, and there is an alarm blaring telling people to evacuate immediately. I love the art on this page where Jor is just like pushing forward into the danger with the other laborers around him. Um, But it seems that Jor isn't finding what he expected. There is no evidence that the cave or the tunnel might be collapsing at the present time.
it's. I mean, I can't say I wasn't expecting this, but at the same time, I kind of wasn't. Like I thought we were going to jump right into, boom, Krypton's going to be destroyed, but it feels like we're going to get a little bit of a drag out of that. And I feel like we've seen that before, where it's like, okay, Jor-El tends to go to the Science Council a lot, or tends to go to whoever's in charge, depending on which continuity we're dealing with here, and claim that Krypton's going to explode, and he's got the findings. They don't believe him. Feels like we're getting a twist on that. Of it's like, okay, this is kind of the traditional story, a little bit modernized, but still the traditional story that we're familiar with.
Yes. And also as a reminder, in this absolute universe, being that it's Darkseid's universe, the people who try to do the right things get punished by the universe, and the people who try to do the wrong things get rewarded by the universe. And I think that is very evident and very clear, even in just these first few opening pages of Absolute Superman, looking at the different class structures.
Yeah, it almost feels like the only way that Jor-El is going to succeed is basically juice himself up with steroids to where everyone knows who he is, because he's super thick and super big and run around in a bat costume and steal stuff and break into things.
For those of you not in the know, that was an absolute Batman reference. So one of the mine's managers comes down the stairs and starts yelling at the working class engineers that they need to hurry up and clear this safety problem so that the miners can get back to work. Nobody's making any money if the miners aren't down there working in unsafe conditions.
Uh, I mean, yeah, I guess that makes logical sense. No one's going to make money if the miners aren't down there working, but it's like you kind of want one of them just be like, yeah, but you're not going to make any money if we're all dead too, jackass.
Ah, but look how many laborers there are. We can just pull in some more and force them down into the mines too. Um, Now on the next page, I laughed out loud when I saw this. There is a League of Middle Management. That is one of the classes. That is hilarious, and it is a wonderful social commentary on our own current state of the world.
It's and I just the League of Middle Management. I just like that. I like that's a great name, of just the League of Middle Management.
And he's got an
Like,
M on his chest.
it's, that is just the most like useless, pointless. I mean, I don't know. I like that. I can see. Yeah, that made me laugh too. It's just I couldn't believe they did that.
Well, Jory gets into an argument with Mr. Middle Manager.
And welcome aboard, Mr. Manager.
Wow, I'm Mr. Manager.
Well, manager. We would just say manager.
About whether or not to reopen the mine. We also find out that Jor was set to graduate from Science Academy prior to him becoming a part of the Labor Guild.
Interesting. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. A reason that maybe Jor-El and Lara-El get along, were able to get along because, they were both kind of locked out of those careers. So the tunnel starts to collapse, and we learn that, like his wife Lara, Jor also criticized the Science League in his graduation speech this time, though, not when he was a child. Jor knew a global collapse was coming, and everyone just laughed at him. So yeah, definitely got that bonding moment with Lara where they're both kind of stuck outside the system that they were supposed to go into.
Yes. And once again, I like the fact that we are fleshing out the family of Superman, like we did in Absolute Batman. We got to see a little bit more of Bruce's parents and how important they were to him, and we're seeing that here with Superman. And they've done it a bit in main continuity, but I kind of feel like this is the first time that I personally have actually read it and kind of got invested and started to care about these characters. I'm a little bit more interested.
I'll be honest, this is the most likable that Lara and Jor have ever been for me. Um, there's been times in the past when they weren't bad, and then there's been times when they were freaking awful, like when John Byrne was writing the book. Um, but in this one here, I like them.
Yeah, I actually, there is one worse than John Byrne, where his parents are a lot worse, and that is James Gunn. He made his parents even worse with the whole gotta repopulate the earth. Basically,
Mm.
Superman needs a harem.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was inspired by Byrne. Middle finger to
That's
both of them. So one thing I really want to talk about here is the panel work, because throughout the book, in these scenes from the past, we've had a border, a red border with the Superman symbol up in the corner of the red border, and it's kind of interesting. Not something we normally see. I thought it was a little weird at first, but now on this page, they're using it to great effect because as the earthquake starts to happen and the tunnel starts to collapse, this totally safe tunnel that the workers were supposed to come back down into, we see the panel itself showing us that it's shaking with that big crack a grrr sound effect. And I just little details like that is something that makes me love the art in this book. It was such a small detail, but it's so awesome that they did it.
no, it's kind of cool because like I kind of noticed the panel, like the border for a little bit, and then it kind of went out of my mind because like, okay, this is just what you're doing, so I'm not really like it's just there, so I just kind of forgot about it until it starts to move, and I'm like, okay, wait a second, what's going on here? Almost like it was kind of like their way of trying to show the camera shaking, like
Mm-hmm.
a camera technique in a movie or something.
Yeah,
So
it
that was it.
works.
Yeah, that was kind of a cool choice on the way that they were doing that.
And then next we see a bright green fissure open up in the tunnel that, they were just debating about maybe a potential collapse would happen. Seems like Jor was right about this too.
Gee, what a surprise! He's right, and no one ever listens to him.
Hmm.
You know, if only there were more people in the world who were constantly right about things, and people should listen to, but
Right?
they always ignore them. Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Who who could those people possibly be?
Can you see me right now? No?
No, no, I can't see you right now. No, I don't know what you're doing. Your
We should
screen
make
suddenly went black.
All right, we should fix that. Anyway, so we move on to the next page and we get a gorgeous splash page where we find out that Krypton is dying from within. And it's at this point that I realized the Redlands were analogous to Kansas. Um, and then here's where we definitely confirm that Krypton is doomed. I really like the bottom left panel on this page where we see someone's skin getting eaten off. I love the fact that they're not afraid to put a little bit of horror into this book.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting because I was not expecting that. I think when I first read a lot, like the started with this absolute line, I think I even started with Absolute Superman before I did Batman, and I think that's kind of what caught me off guard was I was not expecting that to happen. I figured it was going to be a little bit more mature at times, like a little bit darker in tone than mainstream universe. But I did not see that coming. I was like, okay, now you're really trying to separate yourselves from mainline DC, and I kind of appreciate that.
Mm. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Then we cut to our Earth, Brazil. We once again see laborers in a mining situation. They came across a large deposit of asbestos, which is known to cause cancer, and they were ordered to keep digging anyway.
I I can't even tell you what I was thinking at this moment when we did this jump, and I was expecting us to go to Metropolis or someplace in the United States. I was expecting, you know, Smallville, anything. This really threw me for a loop. It's like, okay, we're definitely going a totally different direction with Superman here to be in
Mm-hmm.
Brazil. Like there's something happening. I'm kind of intrigued in like how he's going, like what he's trying to do here.
Yes, and then we get our first look at the peacekeepers on this page as well. They aren't called out in the text, but you can tell based on the helmets that that's who they are.
You mean peacemakers?
Is it peacemakers? I thought it was peacekeepers. Whatever.
In absolute, it could be peacekeepers, but I mean, like I'm thinking they were supposed to be peacemakers.
I think
Uh,
one of them in particular. I don't know. We'll get there when they're called out. I may have written it down wrong.
I don't know. All I remember was like I remember like saying I was like, oh, okay, so you're making Peacemaker like this is our first ultimate reboot, I guess we'll say, of a character. Seeing the whole Peacemaker thing of like they're kind of making them into, like I said, a police force.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
I
really
thought
cool.
yeah, that was really creative because I've never cared about Peacemaker at all. The character's never appealed to me. I mean, in the movies, he's okay. He's kind of funny, but it's basically Deadpool in a sense. So it's like, all right, they're fun movies or shows to watch. In the comics,
I'm
I
offended.
couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you a
Peace
thing about Peacemaker.
Peacemaker is so much better than Deadpool. Oh my god, dude. I can't believe you just made that comparison. No. No, you're wrong about that, straight up.
Ryan Reynolds called, said you can kiss his ass.
John Cena's better. So we get to
Wait. I hold on. Who? I can't see him.
That was clever. They're digging through the asbestos, and it has somehow caused it to snow carcinogens on the outside of the mines on the miners' family. The miners tried to stop, and they in turn were stopped by Lazarus Corp at gunpoint and told they had contracts they needed to fulfill. Lazarus Corp even agreed to pay a bonus $300 on top of their regular pay. Meanwhile, the corporation was making $200 million out of what was being pulled out of the ground. The miners agree to this extra $300 for their families, and we see that Superman does what he does in the name of his family.
I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have done the same thing. It's like there's something about, you're being worked to death by a soulless company that doesn't care about you and just using you for your body until you're done, and then they're gonna throw you away like you're nothing. It sucks. But then when they offer you a little bit more money, you're like, well, that's gonna buy me that extra taco. So
Hmm. Um, we find out that Superman has mined all the diamonds already for the laborers and remove all the asbestos. The miners move the diamonds out while the peacemakers talk about a similar situation that happened in Botswana. There's also a mention of the Omega Man, which I know exist in the main DC universe, but I actually don't know a lot about them. Do you know anything about the Omega Men?
I know they're like a space team. Uh, but I couldn't tell you too much. Like, I don't know if it's something that happens in the future with the Legion, or if it's something that happens in like modern time around like Adam Strange type stories and things. I'm not sure.
I think it's modern, and I think the main reason I think that is because they do make a bit of a cameo in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So we cut back to the previous night where Kal is having a conversation with a miner. The miner is being friendly while Kal does an X-ray scan of him. Cool art on the X-ray, but I was a little unclear why he was doing the. I mean, maybe it was just to introduce us to the fact that he has X-ray vision, but I feel like it could have been done in a better way. And almost like, okay, is Superman looking for cancer because of all the asbestos? But cancer wouldn't come along that quick, and the way he does the scan, you wouldn't be able to see cancer on the type of scan that he was doing. So I'm just really confused why that happened.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either. Like, or maybe he was searching for weapons, making sure there was like no weapons on him, or no like maybe no kind of listening devices. Like maybe Lazarus would have like put listening devices on some of their people, not people like not like the guy was a spy. Like he just didn't know he had a listening device on him or something. But again, they don't really know about Superman yet, so it's kind of I couldn't figure it out either.
Hmm.
Um, maybe he's just got a bone fetish.
Could be. So the miner invites Superman to their barbecue, and Superman asks some interesting questions, and then says he has to do some work and leaves. And he does the Batman thing where, he's just there and then gone while somebody's still talking to him. I'm like, hey, you ripped that off mainline universe Batman, didn't you?
I, I mean, if anyone's gonna pull it off, you think it would be Superman or the Flash would pull it off more than Batman. I mean,
Right?
especially there's no way absolute Batman is sneaking out of anything. Like trying to get out of a damn room would be like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah. So we cut now to Peacemaker, who is beating a miner trying to find out how the diamonds were mined so quickly. The Peacemaker dehumanizes the miner, calling him an animal. We cut to Cal somewhere. We cut to Cal where someone is warning of Peacemaker's approaching. The voice mentions solar charging and waking Cal up since Cal is asleep.
That's kind of interesting. I like the fact that I mean this is gonna sound so wrong the way I'm gonna say this, but I like the fact that the Peacemaker was beating the miner because it does show that these are not your typical like this is basically a darker police force. I mean, like I know we can get into arguments about cops and stuff like that, but it's like this is definitely like these are not the cops. These are a private security force that are they're going to do what they have to do legally, illegally, however they can get it done to get their stuff done. And I kind of like that's showing that this is an evil corporation. We're getting that right off the bat.
Yeah, and its soldiers are brutal. Okay.
Hey, do you like comic books? Do you like everything that we're doing? We hope so because you're obviously watching this. And you know what? It would do us a great favor if you would like this video. You do that, we're going to get a little bit more comic content coming your way. Check out this channel. We got Randy doing weekly comic book reviews every Wednesday. Those are a lot of fun to check out.
For even further comic book discussion, we also have a Patreon page linked below. You get to see uncensored outtakes from when we record, and believe me, they are worth the price of admission, which is as low as $1.
Yeah, and usually getting Randy for $1 is okay. No, actually, that's pretty common. But anyways, uh, also we do share all kinds of cool stuff on our Patreon. We have a lot of great things on there, like discussions with our Patreon fans. We like to post pictures of hauls, things like that.
Some of us
There's
do that. Others of us forget to get me pictures to post.
yeah, I like to make them wait a little bit. But we got some good stuff coming. I got some cool books that I need to remember to take pictures of and send, and I think everyone will enjoy. Um, but yeah, anyways, hey, let's get back to the show.
All right, so Cal thinks he should have been gone as the Peacemakers move in, saying that Lazarus is obedience. I love that they have a catchphrase, and I love that that's what the catchphrase is. Lazarus means obedience.
Yes, now that we say it, that reminds me of something that was in another comic or in a movie or something. I remember the obedience thing because I can almost picture it in my mind of the flag with the circle and like the fist in the circle thing. I don't know what it's from, but if anyone in the comments remembers that, or if that's just my mind making it up, let us know because I'm curious now. Like I remember something obedience as
Hmm.
being like a catchphrase for something else.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, if you please let us know if you know. We find out that Cal is currently sun-starved. That's the reason he was asleep, and he is rudely woken up by whatever that loud voice is. So he wakes up and then proceeds to um, knock a bunch of peacemakers on their ass, and thinks maybe it is better he stayed.
Yeah, definitely, because he's going to help out these poor miners and stuff, which is what we're here for. We're here to see Superman help the little guy,
A
and
hundred
I like
percent.
that Yeah, I like that we're jumping right into that. We're getting Superman at basically the basics of what made Superman great.
Yes, and then on the next page we get a full page splash. Not really much in the way of shadows on his face, so you get to see his whole face. It's really our first good look at him inside the book, and he is tired of running. I mean, this page looks amazing. I love how the S shield is front and center, and it looks great. The peacemakers are around him shooting him, and it's obviously doing nothing to him. Um, I really love the way the artist took, kind of like they did when they did the rain. They kind of took the yellow from the blasters and they like splattered it on the page, so it looks like paint splatter, but to indicate that like it's hitting Superman, whatever they're hitting him with, and it's just bursting apart. Um, Honestly, I think this is probably my favorite page from the book, art wise.
Yeah, no, it was a really iconic page for Absolute Superman. Full like glory shot of the character, like you said, the color again. This is going to be another book that I'm going to end up loving the colors. I would have liked, it would have been interesting to see them play with the colors a little bit more during the flashbacks, like they did in Absolute Batman.
Mm.
But uh, at the same time, it's like there's just they're very vibrant colors. That's what it is. It's like when you
Yeah,
get like
they
the
totally
rain
are.
and the yellow. It's like that's what kind of it makes, just that little touch makes it kind of pop off the page a little bit.
I think you're right. I think they do take the reds and the yellows and they kind of increase their brightness in comparison to everything else. And that's whether it's a good red and yellow, on Superman himself, or red and yellow from the bad guys, the peacemakers. But they increase like the saturation or the brightness of it. And I think it really helps emphasize those colors. And this is a Superman book. It's red and yellow.
Yeah, it's a technique I like a lot. I usually see it in movies. Like movies will do it sometimes where they'll have a lot of faded out colors, and then they'll have like just a few colors that they pick specifically to be very vibrant and bright
Hmm.
to kind of like make everything stand out and kind of give you that contrast. And you see that in comics as well with some of the black and white books. Like Frank Miller's famous for it with Sin City of I think That Yellow Bastard, A Dame to Kill For might have done it, where it was like there was all black and white except for one specific color of yellow, red, blue, something like that throughout the book.
Yeah.
And again, that contrast is just, it's gorgeous. It really makes a page kind of stand out and pop, and you get a little bit more like intrigue into the page.
Yes, and I think a lot of books have, especially since Sin City, done this. Like Wonder Woman, Black, White, and Gold. There's been a number of books that have done black, white, and red, or black, white, and
Yeah,
blood.
Turtles did black, white, and green recently. I got the trade for that. That's one of the ones I have to take a picture of and send to you, you whiny little bitch. But anyways, but yeah, Turtles did it with their black, white, and green. Um, a lot of them done, and I think even uh, like not so much the black and white, but I remember Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale did a lot of that with their collaborations. Of there would be some faded colors in some of their books, and then depending on the character they worked on, they'd maybe like brighten the contrast on. I think like the Spider-Man. They did Spider-Man Blue, I think is what it was, and you got to see a little bit like more bright red on Spider-Man. A lot of colorists and artists do it, and it's become a really popular thing that I want to see more of. Like I love it when the comics do this stuff.
It is very cool. So the voice continues talking to Cal and tells him the weapons and armor being used by the Peacemakers are not from this galaxy. Kind of love that little note.
Yeah, by this point, I think I was starting to kind of wonder, oh crap, is the voice talking to him? Is it Brainiac? Like, is there something?
Ooh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, because
Sadly, it's
I mean, like,
not, but
yeah, I mean, we know who it is, and probably the readers know who it is too. But you know, I'm playing dumb. But like at the time, like I did think it was Brainiac because I was like kind of reminiscent a little bit on Superman the animated series, where I think Brainiac started out as the AI program within the Fortress of Solitude before he kind of became what he normally is. And uh, I thought, are they going to go that direction? Is Brainiac going to be something on the suit that he brought back from Krypton? I was really intrigued to see what was going to happen here. Like that, I don't know. Like he's playing with concepts that I'm like trying to figure out what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, Cal asks Soul, we learn that's the voice's name, if the peacemakers will live if he hits them. Soul says that they will, and he says he wants to keep. Cal says he wants to keep everyone on the planet safe. Soul reminds Cal that this planet is full of combustion engines, fanatical religions, and thermonuclear weapons. These people are never safe. That line, it really hit home for me, and it made me laugh too. Like I laughed out loud when I read that. And it's not just these people are never safe. It's like never is emphasized. It's bigger than the other words. It's bold. These people are never safe.
No, that was great to me. That was the line of the whole series. Like there's not going to be a line better than that. That's up there with Terminator 2's "It's in your nature to destroy yourselves," and then in the Matrix when where human beings are compared to a virus. Like those are two iconic lines that I was like, yeah, that sums up humanity pretty much.
Mm.
And now we got Absolute Superman was like, yeah, we're never safe. We're always trying to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got the third in that.
So then Soul reminds Cal that his solar injury levels are depleted, and Cal keeps fighting anyway. He is trying to help, and the peacemakers are coming down hard on the laborers and their families, and he feels like that is his fault. Cal tells the miners to take the diamonds and run if Lazarus won't pay them. And then something zaps Cal. And as Cal's voice screams, Kal-El! In, exclamation point. Superman got hit hard.
I mean, he's got to. I mean, as much as I want to see Superman just like wipe the floor with these guys, it's not going to be much of a Superman book if somebody doesn't come along to knock him down a peg to kind of build up that. All right, it's we got to see Superman be a little bit of the underdog, a little bit, which I think
Mm,
this series is going to do really well because, as we've discussed, with the whole this universe punishes people who do good. Nobody is more represents hope and doing good more than Superman.
mm-hmm,
So, like, he's definitely going to get pounded hard in this universe.
mm-hmm. We find out next that the director wants Cal alive. The troops in the transport here confirm that this is the same entity that was seen in Botswana and Dharavi. Cal has been a busy little bee. We also get our first look at Lois Lane, who is one of the troops in the transport. She has noticed that Cal's suit is like living armor protecting him, and he seems to be talking to it. Ever the reporter's eye on that woman.
Yeah, it's like even if you take her out of the newsroom, you cannot take the reporter out of Lois Lane. She's just naturally meant to be a snoopy little so and so that's going to stick her nose in everything, get in trouble, make Clark have to get out of bed, save her butt because she can't just not follow her instincts and be safe.
Yeah. And then we see Cal's eyes explode. That's a new one on for us, at least with Absolute Superman. And then Cal asks Soul to shut him down. Soul begs Cal not to risk his life for these people. Soul reminds Cal of the lesson that Krypton taught. Some planets can't be saved from themselves. Wow. That's that one really hits home.
That's a very nihilistic approach to thinking about being a superhero. It's like thankfully Clark is the hero and not Saul, because yeah, humanity would be screwed then.
Soul's got a point. But then we see Lazarus helicopter tanks. Like the tanks have helicopter blades on them landing. Um, this is so freaking cool. I love the technology here. Like I know they're the bad guys, but I am digging the comic embracing some of those Silver Age sci-fi roots, like giving tanks freaking helicopter blades. That's oh, I love it. I love it.
No, it's that's the beauty of comics, is that they can take stuff that seems corny and make it cool. And yeah, I'm here. I love that stuff. I mean, that's why I like old '50s science fiction movies and horror
Hmm.
movies at times, because like the cheesiness of it is also what makes it cool. Like seeing that kind of stuff.
It's cheesy and they play it as straight as possible.
Yeah, and that's what makes it even better. It's like the great thing about a cheesy anything, comic, movie, book, or whatever it is you're watching, if it's cheesy, the great thing is that it's either going to be they play it straight and it's cheesy and just fun to watch because it's like, okay, yeah, you guys are trying, we appreciate it, we love it, or they steer into the cheese and you're just like, oh man, this is so bad, I enjoy it.
Plan 9 from Outer Space definitely takes the cake on
Exactly.
that one. Um,
Exactly.
Now, one of the things I love on the next page, on the side of the helicopter tank, it says in big bold letters, Lazarus means peace. And right below it, how's my driving? I laughed out loud again when I read that.
That was pretty good. I like the little like jokes that they're kind of throwing in on this, trying to make it fun as well,
Yeah,
and
and you
and
see it
they're
on
they're
the
doing a
side of
good job.
every tank. Lazarus means peace. How's my driving?
Yeah, and especially like anyone's gonna call Lazarus and be like, "Yeah, this guy drives like an idiot. He sucks." Like within
And
24 hours, they're gonna be dead.
I was gonna say, and Lazarus is like, okay, we're gonna send somebody out to talk to you. What's your address? Anyway, so Cal tells Soul it may be time to get out of there as someone puts a handcuff of some kind on Cal's wrist. And then we see Agent Lane announce herself and say that she has Cal in custody. She tells him, move and I'll fry your face, Superman, which is the first time we have seen that name officially used. And just like in the DC universe, the first time it's used, it comes from Lois Lane.
Yeah, I mean, no one else could name Superman. I mean, it's got to be Lois. That's a staple in any universe. Uh, I don't want to see anyone else name him. I like the fact that she puts the handcuffs on him and she's like, "I'm gonna fry your." It's like just we know, like that's such a thing. Like everyone reading this is like, "No, you're not. Like you're not gonna do a damn thing." But she's just so confident about it, like, all right, let's see what you're gonna do. Come on, let's see where this is gonna go.
I mean, to help, she's holding one of those lightning crackling guns that really seemed to hurt him a minute ago. So there's a little bit of credibility to that threat.
It is. I mean, like I'm sure it'll sting. It'll probably just be like if he nicked himself shaving or something.
Cut to the Nevada desert. Lazarus R&D department. Someone is monitoring what is happening to Cal and what Cal is doing in response. We see purple lights above this person, and they're wearing a green suit, and they have their brain exposed and wires leading to their brain. Now, based on the colors and based on our knowledge of the DC universe, this could be potentially two people. This could be Lex Luthor, because he does like dressing in that green and purple outfit, armor that he likes so much. But Lex Luthor has a bald head, and this looks like brain actually exposed. We also do know that there is somebody else who uses those same colors and has a brain-like name. I believe you mentioned him earlier. Cookie, who is it?
It's definitely Brainiac. At this point, I realized, like, okay, I was wrong. It wasn't Brainiac earlier. It was Saul, and then now we've got Brainiac.
Yeah. And then we cut to the Kent farm, which is in a dilapidated and sad state with a sign that says property of Lazarus Corp out front.
This had me immediately worried. I had a sinking feeling in my gut that I am not going to like what they are going to do with Jonathan and Martha.
Hmm. Yeah, don't want to say too much more than that because it'll get revealed in later issues. So then we cut to Krypton years ago. Lara is working on a machine as someone approaches. She rushes out to meet Jor, who has radiation burns. There was an accident at the mine that we saw earlier with the tunnel collapse. Jor thinks that Krypton is done for and asks where Kal is. And then we see Kal, a young Kal, with his dog. Jor and Lara offer comfort to Kal as more of the green mist shoot up out of fissures in the ground out of Krypton's crust. And that's where the comic ends.
I want to point out, I absolutely, uh, I mean, I use a lot of the same phrases over and over again. I realize that. I apologize to people for constantly saying interesting and absolutely love and stuff like that. But sometimes I
Hey,
can't
you're the
think of
one
a
who has
better
to
word.
edit it.
Yeah, I just I can't think of a better word at the moment though. But I absolutely love the fact that one of the major shifts in this origin is he's not coming to Earth as a baby.
I
It's
agree.
he's
100%.
Yeah, and that's something that's kind of cool because before we only ever saw that with Kara. Kara always came to Earth as a teenager, so she
Hmm.
was able to experience the death of Krypton, and she remembered Krypton and how that affected her character and her personality. Now they're throwing that onto Cal, and that is a really cool idea.
Yes. And as we're recording this, the end of June 2026, uh, Kara has not been introduced into the Absolute Universe yet, which is kind of surprising because we just had a Supergirl movie come out. Not that I'm complaining, just saying it's surprising. Anyway, at this time, she has not been put into the Absolute Universe yet, but I am honestly very much looking forward to when she is and what it will look like. Like, I don't want to get too far off into the weeds on this topic, but since you brought her up, I did want to mention I can't wait to see her.
I'm gonna say my prediction now is we are going to see an older Kara. She is going to show up about the age of how old she is when she's Power Girl in like Earth 2 and all that kind of stuff. I think she's going to be the older version. They're going to swap them. Of Cal will be younger than Kara this time.
Yeah. So, this issue was a great introduction. It does a ton of world building for both our current status quo on Earth as well as Krypton's status quo, where Kal came from in the past. I like the changes it makes. I like Kal being older when Krypton dies, like you mentioned just a moment ago. And I know that it's never come out and said it, but it's Lazarus Corp, so we all know that's race. I also admire how Ra's al Ghul is a Superman enemy now. You know, I like how Superman feels familiar, but at the same time fresh and new. I also really like the fact that Superman is being taken back to his social justice warrior roots from the Golden Age. Again, we discussed that a little bit earlier. Those old comics where Superman would fight for the poor and downtrodden were awesome. And in his very first appearance, he is literally freeing an innocent person from the death penalty. In the next appearance, he is capturing crooked politicians. I love the way that they are taking him back to that.
Agreed. I like everything they're doing so far. This was a great introduction for everything you said. I literally like I for the first time I think in my entire life I actually agree with every word that came out of your mouth. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm about ready to die of an aneurysm right now.
Oh, don't worry. You're about to disagree when I get there in a second.
um, but yeah, it's like everything great, everything worked. The writing was solid. The artwork was really, really good. Again, I'm highly praising the colorist on this book. I thought was fantastic and improved the art. The art was good anyways, but improved the art even more.
Mhm.
Um, the
I'm going to
changes were
stop you for
good.
just a second because that's the next point I was actually going to make is about the art.
Mhm.
Now, I agree. The art is gorgeous. The coloring is spot on. Zero notes about the coloring. But there are places in the book where the artwork is sloppy on purpose and s- parts where they're making it a little more abstract. And it is also sloppy at the same time. It's honestly not my favorite style of art. I would like it to be a little cleaner, and there's some places where it's sloppy and abstract where I would like it more detailed. And the artist can absolutely do detail because I'm looking at this last page and I'm seeing lots of great detail. Um, but when we see the green coming up out of the ground, um, it looks like that one panel with the green and the flowers. It just looks kind of sloppy, and it's again a little abstract, and I don't like it that much. I guess I wish the detail was a little more consistent.
I mean, if I was going to get nitpicky, I guess I could say the same thing,
We're
but it
reviewing a
wasn't.
comic. We're supposed to be
I,
nitpicky.
I didn't think it was that bad. No, you don't have to be. You don't have to be nitpicky when you do reviews. I'm watching a guy currently on YouTube that does not get nitpicky, and he's a wonderful, wonderful critic. Probably my favorite
Nobody
critic
else
right now.
does what we do on YouTube. Nobody else takes these deep dives. We are original, and nobody else does this.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not talking about like a comic reviewer. But no, I don't really have a problem with the artwork. I appreciate the artwork mainly due to the fact that this is the second book, and like I said, we've read pretty much everything. I think you're a little bit more current on the universe than I am, but we've kind of read everything that's been coming out from Absolute, and I honestly appreciate the fact that every book is giving you a different and unique art style, that nothing feels the same.
Yeah, they all have their own kind of signature on the art. 100%. I agree.
Yeah, so it's like I'm kind of enjoying the art for what it is. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm not here for perfect. I'm really not. I want a good story.
I'm perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just wish it were a little less abstract. In a few places, it's not even that many, and which makes me sure they did it that way on purpose. It just wasn't my favorite choice for the book. Having said all that, though, overall, this was a really good issue. The art style not being my favorite is fine. It's a style choice, and for the style that it is, it's really good. I ended up giving this issue a 3.75 out of 5 dilapidated Kent farms. How about you?
I'm gonna go with 3.95. I'm gonna go almost to a 4. Only reason it doesn't get a full-on 4 is because the only critique I have is the same critique I have with a lot of the Absolute books, and it's honestly just a critique with a lot of modern comics. There's a little bit of a slow build. Like I know it's going to take a while because a lot of modern comics are written for story arcs to be adapted into trades and collected editions. So you've got to spread it out. So because of that, there are some parts that kind of drag on a little bit, and then it also gets a little bit of some points dropped because I don't I don't like the bad feeling I have in the pit of my stomach for the Kents. I am very, very worried and concerned about the Kents. Won't somebody please think of the Kents?
All right, so that's our episode for tonight. We want to thank everybody for joining us. We are really glad that you're here with us watching. If you can't tell, we really love comics, and that's why we do this show.
Yeah, we're here all about the comics, and we want you to be all here about the comics too. And so, you know what? If you want to be here with us together in comics, uh, please join us on Patreon because there's even
Hmm.
more comics content on there, more conversations. We have conversations with our members. Like I said before, we show off our hauls. He's going to complain now because I haven't been sending him pictures of my hauls, but he needs to shut up because they will come when they come. Um, and you know what? There's also
Put a
some
Superman
unfunny.
symbol over that.
There's also some funny uncensored video clips from the show that like we can't show you on YouTube because they got a stick up their butt on what they will let us say and everything. Um, Also, you know what? Hey, check us out on Blue Sky. The link is in the description down below.
Yes, and while you're down there and checking out the description, look for links to our Amazon affiliate page. This is the Superman hardcover for the arc that we're currently reading. Um, it is really cool because it has the dust jacket, which gives you one bit of art, and then if you open the dust jacket on the inside, you get another piece of art. So it's like double the art of what you would get in the regular trade paperback if you pay just a little bit more and pick up that hardcover instead. Now, when you buy things from our Amazon affiliate page, um, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but we here at the show, we get a little bit of a kickback. Amazon, sends us a little something for sending you their way. Anyway, so last thing we want to do is give a big shout out to our editors, Nacho King and Nickname Nick.
Yeah, we definitely could not do this without you guys because yeah, we help out with the editing process, and we did not realize how often we ramble on and just will not shut the hell up. So we
For
definitely
an
have an
hour and 20
appreciation.
minutes this time.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot. I mean, it helps that like there was a lot of long breaks, so it's like it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys.
All right, so for our closing tonight, may the Science League not get you down. Science Guild. Whoever the bad guys are on Krypton, may they not get you down.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Um, yeah, that's the best I can come up with. Like I got, either something like that or like like hey, may you have soul in your life.
There you go. Thanks everybody for joining us.